To Austria now, the far-right Austrian Freedom Party has been asked by the country's president to form a government. The Eurosceptic, Russia-friendly party, led by Herbert Kickl, came first in last year's legislative election, but other parties were reluctant to enter government with them. However, the other parties have failed in their efforts to form a coalition, and President Alexander Van der Bellen has now given the Freedom Party the opportunity to form an administration. Well, Lucas Mandl is a member of the European Parliament for the centre-right People's Party in Austria. Thanks for joining us on Newsday. Firstly, do you think Mr. Kickl will be able to now form a government? And what are his options? Would it have to be a minority one? Is there any chance of a coalition?
Good morning from my side. Thank you for having me. The odds might be high for such a coalition, but it's absolutely not yet given that there will be such a coalition. It's true that the federal president assigned the head of the Freedom Party, which you have described very correctly, with forming a government. But now it's up to this person, to this head of the Freedom Party, to invite others to find a majority in parliament. I'm advocating, among other things, I'm always thinking in alternatives, and I am advocating for a so-called minority government. In the Austrian system, the federal president would nominate somebody to be member of a government, and this government remains in place as long as it would not be kicked out by the parliament.
Would your party, the People's Party, as a centre-right party, be the only real viable coalition partner now for the Freedom Party?
My party, the People's Party, Christian Democrats of Austria, have been in government for a long time, are very capable to do so. More than 2/3 of the mayors in our country are part of our Christian Democratic movement. We are, I would say, the power of predictability. This is also to the outside very important, that Austria will remain a hub of rule of law. And of course, if this person who was assigned by the federal president to form a government will invite the People's Party to talks, the People's Party will talk. But I'm also part of the People's Party. I'm not the only one who advocates also for thinking in alternatives, among other things, also to form a minority government.
Is there an argument, though, from your perspective, that if you were to join coalition talks, potentially you could have more of an influence on them, maybe appease some of the concerns that your party has about Kickl and his party?
Austria is a member country of the European Union. With this comes along even more of responsibility also for EU decisions. So not only for us 9 million Austrians, but for more than 400 million Europeans. As you know, member countries of the European Union have special rights of voting in major decisions on European level. And this is one of the reasons why the always pro-European, historic pro-European People's Party will try to have a say to also remain with Austria as a proper and reliable partner on European level.
He, as you've described there, is not a fan of the European Union. What other concerns does your party have about Kickl and about his Freedom Party? Why is it that you personally are not that keen on the idea of a coalition?
Well, my concern is that this movement of today's Freedom Party under this leadership is part of the, I would say, worldwide, or at least present in the Western world, development of populism, of extremism, of division, and he has achieved his election results, his election success, no doubt on that, via separation and division, via being against something, not being for something. But a government, especially a head of a government, a prime minister, a chancellor, as we call it in Austria, has to be for something, has to advocate for something, has to build bridges rather than to separate people. So there will be a lot of challenges for him to be a capable government member. He already tried in the past, but like a football player, he shot in the past when he was a member of the government in his own goal and not in the other one.
I'm afraid we've got to leave it there. But Lucas Mandl, thank you for joining us, a member of the European Parliament for the People's Party in Austria.
This is the BBC World Service.